All the links to the original posts are given in the description. So now let's head straight to the video.
Boyfriend didn't tell me his ex is his friend. Alright, so I recently learned that my BF is still friendly with his ex, and that she is besties with the main group of people he hangs out with. I only learned this because of an outing I was attending, where he sprung upon me that she would be there, that she is friends with everyone and that they are still good friends. I got through the outing without a problem. But afterwards it was eating away at me that I didn't know the nature of her friendship with him or his friends. Some of his girlfriends added me on social media that day, the day that I met his ex. That's where I learned how close his ex is to all the really important people in his life. Another thing he never mentioned. I continued to sit on this uncomfortable feeling and talk to him about it calmly. Said it made me uncomfortable, that I felt deceived and that I wasn't sure what a good solution would be at this point, but right now I feel confused. He went to a wedding about a week after this conversation, and his ex posted a pic of them sitting next to each other with a bunch of friends. I only saw BC his friends reposted. I addressed this calmly, said it would have been nice if he told me first. We definitely had the ex conversation at the beginning of our relationship, and he made it seem like they broke up. She moved to the city, and while they remained friendly, they had separate lives. I know now their lives are not so separate. Now he wants to readdress our initial conversation about my discomfort with the whole situation. But quite frankly, in January it will be a year we're dating, and after all of the betrayal by omission, I'm on the verge of moving on. It doesn't seem like I've been well respected in this scenario. Am I being dramatic? TLDR, boyfriend didn't tell me his ex was his friend. Edit. This was not the first time I hung out with this group of friends. That seems to be important. Few responses from the community. Response 1. Listen, what makes this whole situation uncomfortable is that he wasn't honest right from the start. I've stayed friendly with a few of my exes over the years, but I bring this up to my new so right at the beginning of the relationship. Most of my exes are from out of state or country, so not a big chance of them bumping into each other, but I've learned it's always best to be upfront about sensitive subjects like that. It all depends on the trust you establish right at the start. If everything is out in the open, there will be no surprises or messy emotions later. If he had nothing to hide, he would have been upfront. Response 2. The problem is, since he lied, you are always going to think there is more going on than there actually is, because in the absence of truth and transparency, your mind will make stories to fill in the blanks, and those stories are often much worse than the reality. I suspect he didn't tell you the truth early on because he guessed that you would find it weird and might not want to move forward with dating him. But by lying, even lying by omission, he took away your ability to make up your mind for yourself. The truth of the matter is they could have mutually decided they were better off as good friends, broken up, and there is no longer anything between them sexual or chemistry-wise. Had he been honest, you might have met her early on, and after observing them together and getting to know her, you might have seen there isn't anything to worry about there. But not only did he lie to you, it sounds like he also kind of hid her from you, as you are only learning about their actual closeness nearly 1 year into your relationship, and it's hard to trust somebody after they've lied straight to your face for almost a year. So if you think there is enough between you and your boyfriend that is worth fighting for, and if he is willing to do the work to regain your trust, and you are willing to work with him as he does it, then you know what you need to do. However, I suspect that when you bring this up, he's going to minimize your feelings and downplay the lying, at which point you know what you need to do in that scenario also. Response 3. It's all about your comfort level. He didn't lie per se unless it's by omission. They did break up, so they did go their separate ways as far as that relationship goes. But he didn't disclose that he's still friends or that his circle of friends includes her as well. What exactly makes you uncomfortable? That he's still friends with her? Or that he didn't tell you? I think it's too soon to call it, really. A lot of exes maintain a friendship, especially if the breakup was mutual and not over one or the other being mad, upset, or hurt over it. Since that doesn't seem to be the case, I say you let it go for now. Just because you wouldn't be friends with any of your exes doesn't make their friendship wrong or illicit. But I don't like surprises, and this could have been a bad experience for you if she was the catty type. It seems she isn't. If you like the guy enough, revisit that convo with him and be sure he understands your thoughts on it. And THST, being surprised by her presence was unworthy. Springing something like that is indicative of immaturity. At his age, he should have been man enough to tell you all this beforehand, their friendship, her being there, all of it. He just didn't want you to back out, I'd guess. Response 4. Not dramatic at all. The past is only the past, so long as it stays in the past. Some people are perfectly fine dating people who stay close with exes. Those are also typically the type of people who also stay close to their own exes. I'm not the type to keep in contact with exes, and I'm only interested in people who operate the same way. You have been together for a year and he's been this close with her the entire time without informing you. He tricked you into a relationship with him by claiming that his ex was moved and not in his life, because he knows there's a good chance you'd have left if you knew the reality. This is probably something he does to everyone he dates, because many people don't want a partner who's that close with an ex. Response 5. The problem is that he deceived you and only told you his ex is in his friend group only minutes before you met her. I wouldn't have a problem with exes since I'm friends with exes, but I would have a big problem with someone lying and hiding them because their only reason to do that if they secretly want to get back with them or they hooked up occasionally after breaking up. He also never gave you a clear response, and even after you talked to him, he went to a wedding where she was present and they even took pics that were posted on social media. After you said you were uncomfortable, he could have simply told you the ex was going to be at the wedding because she was friends with the people getting married, and then it would have been a non-issue. Already he lied a couple of times and has poor communication skills. I wouldn't waste my time with this guy. Sounds like if she wanted to date him again, he'd be into that. I mean, she dumped him to move elsewhere. That's what it sounds like. If you like the story, hit the like and don't forget to subscribe the channel, and thanks for watching.